What's up, y'all? So, I've been wanting to make this video for a while now because I feel like I have a good story of my first fish. To preface this, I wanted to start by saying that I did fish a few times as a kid, but I just got my butt kicked. I remember one time hooking a fish, and it was the only time I ever hooked a fish, and I got it up on the bank, and then it popped off the hook. I didn't get a good hook set. It popped off, wiggled off, fell into the river, and I lost the fish. My mom said I cried about it, but I don't remember that bit. Another time, my brother caught 3 fish, and all I caught was snags. So, I just got discouraged with fishing as a kid. So, as an adult, I hadn't really I hadn't fished at all. But, so, we're in the middle of the pandemic. It's like 2020. And middle of the pandemic, I had just gotten sober very recently. And I had just gotten a job at a dispensary. And I was working there for a while, blah, 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 whatever. Doing good, sober kind of. I think I relapsed once or twice, but I was doing good. And long story short, there was some drama at work and I ended up getting fired. But a day or two before getting fired, I had been talking to one of my coworkers, and she told me about a spot a few hours outside of Vegas that she went to with her family, and they went camping and fishing. And she said it's really pretty up in the mountains, beautiful lake, and it was a spot I'd never heard of. It was Eagle Valley. So anyway, I ended up getting fired, and because I had been usually working weekends, I now had the weekends off. I had every day off. So, I think it was either that weekend after I got fired or the following week. But my brother, my mom, and I all went up there and fished. And I think it was maybe just because I had talked to my coworker about it, and she had mentioned the fishing. But for whatever reason, I really wanted to try fishing. And so I bought a rod and a reel, which was an absolute nightmare of a setup. It was a bait casting rod with a spinning reel, which I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I just grabbed a reel and a rod from Walmart, slapped some line on it, grabbed a couple hooks that I thought would work, and I think I was using worms. But it cast terribly because it wasn't the right setup. But regardless, we get up there. It's absolutely gorgeous up there. And first day of fishing, I didn't catch anything. But the second day, I think it was like midday, and I had been fishing like the reeds, not catching anything, but I went up to a dock, and I was fishing next to some other people up there, fishing this dock, and I remember I make a cast, something like that, and it was short, short cast, because I had a janky setup, and it was just weird, so I was like, let me reel that in real fast and see if I can make a better cast. So I yank that sucker in real fast, and boom, a trout smacks it, and I mean hard. It just smoked it, and it must have been because I was reeling it in fast. It just triggered that reaction in the fish, and the fish just smoked it, and I was just completely shocked. And I reel this thing in, and I get it in, and I'm just in shock. I don't know what to do with it. My phone was dead, so I couldn't take a picture or video or anything, which was really disappointing. I didn't like bring a stringer or anything to cook the fish with or anything. I was totally not prepared to catch fish. I did not think I was actually going to catch a fish. So I didn't know what to do with this. I ended up just throwing it back, but this thing was a decent fish. I thought it was tiny, but I really had no idea anything about trout or just fish in general. It was a pretty good trout for the lake. It was a decent size. I thought it was too small to even keep, so I just threw it back. Whatever, no big deal. But I remember just nonchalantly saying to the guys that I was fishing next to, I was like, yeah, that was actually the first fish I've ever caught. And they're just like, oh, wow, really? It's like, yep. I'm like, oh, nice, dude, congrats. And I actually seen a guy that was fishing with his kids, his little daughter, must have been, I don't know, 3 or 4, caught her first largemouth. And the dad was definitely more excited than she was, but it was cool to see. I had gotten my first trout, she got her first largemouth. It was a cool night. And that fish absolutely changed my life. Just the reaction strike that I generated, that bite that caught me off guard, the absolute just beauty of the fish and the fishery, and just the whole vibe of the whole thing. I fell in love, man. Absolutely fell in love with fishing. And like I'd said in the beginning of the video, I'd recently gotten sober, so fishing totally became my new addiction, and I'm super grateful that I've found fishing, and I've found a replacement for, you know, my drug addiction, because I don't know, the fishing has been incredible, especially like the last year or two. I've had so much fun, and I am just so grateful for one, getting sober, but for two, finding fishing and finding something I am just incredibly passionate about. You know, when I was a kid, I was real into skateboarding. I've pretty much fallen off and haven't skated in a long time, but there's a lot of parallels I see. Like in skating, you might try a trick 100 times before you land it, and you know, with fishing, you might make 100 casts before you get a fish. So that it's very rewarding, and it can be an adrenaline rush. And I'm just super stoked on fishing, and I just wanted to share that story with